I'm going to fly over this guy, but I got to keep us moving.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Andrea? Just kind of veering over to the southeast and then picking up the ridge again over there where it's steeper?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the steep side. If we think that we could see more corals,
that way, yeah. Was more favorable. Yeah, let's try that, Nav.
Sorry, that was unclear.
Yes, let's a more southeasterly course.
So you would like me to change bearing?
Yep, to stay on the
okay.
Steeper part of the ridge.
Can you give me downlights again for a sec?
Copy.
It's a great view on the Argus cam.
Yeah, let's take a look at that
Bridge
sponge.
Yeah. Ooh, there's the tether.
Can we make another move? 100 meters, 0.2 knots, bearing 160. Roger, thank you.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, if we could come around in front of it.
The two green laser dots are 10 centimeters apart, and so if you kind of stack those up and take a look at that sponge, I mean, what do you think? That's at least a meter.
What's that, Dan?
Yeah.
Auto heading off for it.
Wow.
Beautiful. It's like a wonderful sculpture there.
Oh yeah, that's way smoother.
A nice chihuly.
Yeah.
Saw one similar to this earlier in the dive. Nice and healthy.
Okay. Should probably keep moving.
Sure.
Wow, look at that.
That is beautiful.
I agree, Kate. At least a meter
Sorry,
tall.
Dan, I can't.
It's really fantastic. And, you know, you think about sponges, they've been around 500 million years.
And are they extremely slow growing like the corals?
I think it's hypothesized, yes, that they're slow growing.
To get some nice shots.
I don't know how long it would take for this one to get this large.
Wow. Nice shot. See anything living in it?
Not yet. Coming wide.
All right. Nice job.
Great job, front row.
So where was that last move, ship's move, Kate, to the southeast?
Yeah, so it was bearing 160.
Roger.
So 15 degrees further east from what we were doing.
Yeah, I was getting like a lot of like sort of pulsing like heading changes from the when I was in auto heading. I was told that you can use it to keep your heading changes from being too like jerky.
Oh, that's a big coral over there on the other side. That's pretty massive. There's obviously some pleasant current conditions here for these organisms.
Wow. I wonder if that's a stony. Kind of looks like Yeah, if we could get a zoom on that. That looks like a madrepora, maybe.
That
Okay.
might be a
Or
half meter, a meter in diameter. What are your guess?
yeah.
Oh, up. It's really up. That's super hot.
It's gorgeous.
Yep. There it is. Yep.
We learned about a coral that was only, I think, about 10 centimeters long, and it was dated as 600 years old.
And that's what I'm thinking. This could
Yeah.
be one of those.
Exactly.
So I saw one like that that was
Give me 1 second, Dan. I just want to make
several
sure I don't run
meters
over it.
across and
Okay.
as tall as Herc on
That's when I feel like I want auto head.
on the side of Baker Island.
Right. They are magnificent. So you think that, you know, was 600 years old. Can't imagine how old this would be.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't hear over.
There we go. Oh, wow.
So we think this is a stony coral?
Without Steve being awake, yes. That's the leading candidate, leading
Okay.
vote. Yeah, it looks similar to one of that I've come across, yeah.
Great zoom.
Yeah, beautiful shot. We'll certainly be able to, should be able to ID it later with this video.
We have a number of scientists on board for this expedition, and our resident coral expert, Steve, is on the previous watch, so hopefully he's getting some well-deserved rest.
He is, yeah. His last note was, get a Niskin. Thanks. All right. Sure, you got several grabs of that. So now we're looking for crusty rock. Are you pretty set with your samples?
I think, yeah, I mean, we're always looking for another rock. I think
Okay.
Beth wanted us to get a softer rock, so a more altered rock for her. So I don't know how we'll identify that. Cliff face is always hard, difficult, right? Especially as you can see in the move, we're having issues.
Right. bamboo.
There he goes.
The Argus view.
What was that, high drama?
High drama on the Argus view.
Yeah.
This just looks really good.
Kim, are you able to see where folks are logged in from? Or
Yeah, we're waking up. We got viewers. We have people watching in Italy, in Ireland, Canada. Got some folks tuning in from a few places in the UK.
Ooh, look at this purple guy.
sea cucumber? Yep.
Oh, nice. This is just a wee guy. What's that? Okay.
Well, hello, Europe.
And quite a few U.S. visitors as we're waking them up
Right.
on. It's quite early in the morning here, but East Coast should be waking up.
Maybe they got up early for the eclipse.
Maybe. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, we saw it at its peak before coming on watch.
What's that?
I don't think that sea
What about
cucumber
the laser?
is awake.
What's a laser zoom?
Oh, he's moving.
Oh, there he goes. Saw one swimming earlier.
So I'm trying to, sorry, what am I trying to do, Dan? Okay, can you zoom out a little bit?
Yeah, I'm
I've
not
lost
sure.
track of it.
I got confused
Okay.
by the laser zoom too.
So, but I've already sort of picked where I am, so I can't get the lasers on the, okay, it's time to go. Go wide on HD?
Or wide.
Onward.
I'm not super following your algorithm here, Dan, because like once I had set down, like I had already picked where the lasers were, and the lasers were just too high. Like I would have had to pan and tilt to get to the.
So we've got another biology question coming in on the website. Where do the corals come from before they're attached to the rock?
I would say the water column.
Okay.
Where these deep water coral larvae drift, I think is a great big open question. Some of them seem to, you can have some seamounts where they're just on that seamount, endemic to that seamount, and not others around it. And then you can also have connectivity between seamounts. It'll be interesting to see what we come across as we explore this chain. So what we're going to do after this dive is transit north. We're going to map along the chain, hitting the summits as we go north with our multi-beam sonar. Get to the northern end, and so that way we'll have rock samples from the southern end and the northern end. If weather were to come in and interfere with our operations, we'd at least have the high priority rock samples for age dating this chain. And then we'll work our way south with more exploration. And so we'll see, yeah, how are these coral species moving along this chain? But yeah, it's an excellent question. I don't know that we've seen these deep sea coral spawning. I've never seen it.
So whenever we're in a good place logistically, we'll want to get a smaller, more round rock and hope that it's more altered for Beth's study of microorganisms that actually live in rock themselves.
Yeah, we've got about 15 minutes to pull that off.
All right.
Is the sediment that we're seeing filling in the cracks and low points just marine snow?
Yeah, I think so. That's just the slow buildup of marine snow and gradual erosion of the basalt. But what do you think, Andrea? Is this mostly sediment from above?
Yeah, I would say that most of this is marine snow over time.
Yeah.
It just builds up over geologic time. You can get debris coming off the slope, but if it's not exposed to mechanical weathering by wave action, so if it hasn't breached the surface, that's going to be minimized.
Yeah, nothing much to break that down.
Right.
And the linear fractures that we're seeing, Andrea, do you think it's some kind of original flow structure or post?
So we're seeing, it looks like a couple things. You could see kind of the, like I said, the pillow lava structures or how it's undulating. You can almost imagine that as cooling magma under the ocean. As you see these lobate structures, one right in front of us there, you can see how that's viscous fluid cooling and crystallizing under the ocean. When you see a crack that's more angular, that is something that happened after cooling and crystallization, where you get a fracture in the rock.
Thank you.
So if Gabby could let us know when we're in a good position to try to pick another rock, then I think we'll have to do also the meniscus, right?
The Niskin.
Niskin, that's right.
You want a Niskin on the fly or I'll stop Niskin?
That'll be before we leave the bottom, maybe altitude of 5 to 10 meters, just to get a background water sample.
Roger.
And did you say you're looking for another spot to grab a rock?
Yes, a rounded, smaller rock that we're hoping is a little more altered because those are the rocks that are hold on to the organisms that Beth is studying.
Ridge, this is Nav.
What do you mean by altered?
So recrystallized, when a rock cools in its magma, it's going to have its primary mineral.
Meters, bearing 160,
Okay.
speed 0.2
Can you see
knots.
those crystalline features from here?
No.
Okay. So what features does the rock have
Thank you.
that you can see from here?
Rounded rock, smaller rock, so one that doesn't have angular corners and is smaller, and
like something down there?
Yeah.
Right in front of us?
You ready for this one, Dan? Do you guys see anything on the screen that you want?
It looked like, well, we just sort of...
You want to do one?
Do you guys want anything here?
Let's see here.
So before you land with a manip, or a manip grab, tilt down a little with this.
Something in there?
A little more.
Ridge, Nav.
So you're looking way out, right? Yeah, that's what I want. This, so you know where the reference of the vehicle is.
Can you come to a stop, please?
Okay, you want one of these little guys in here?
Let's try it.
You can, Dan, if you want to grab it, you can.
Sure.
Yeah, you love grabbing rocks. Your love of grabbing rocks is actually famous.
I'm over it now. I got my
Oh,
rock.
you just needed your one?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Not for a second.
Yeah, are you sure about that, Dan?
Yeah. You can tilt up just a little bit so I don't have to look at those rusty plates.
Okay, it's going to be pretty crazy. Yep.
Too far. That's better.
Gotta fix that one.
Perfect. Okay, what rock do you want?
Here we go. Stand by. Andrea is drawing.
That guy?
A big one?
This guy, can you get?
Oh,
Can't get that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
The
Yes.
little
That
guy.
Yes.
Also this guy.
All right, try that guy.
No,
Attached.
little guy was loose.
Yeah.
This is going starboard bow?
This is going in the front.
Okay.
Oh,
Fail.
oh,
Really?
it's crumbly.
That's
Great.
what she likes.
Excellent.
That's a good one.
I need to grip force less. Are you all right with the shatter there?
Yeah, that's what she wants.
Bullseye, yeah.
That's cool.
Goes in the front bio box.
Oh, very crumbly.
Yeah, I
just
turned the
slipped.
grip force down there, so it shouldn't
Gotcha.
do that again.
All right.
Let's have a look here.
That's a great rock that will have organisms living in it for her, and she can test the DNA in those organisms.
That looks so nicely
Zoom in a
crusted.
bit.
And it also has that manganese crust. See the dark
Yeah.
crust around?
So that's
So-
all crust, the black bits?
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
a precipitate over long geologic time.
A few
So
millimeters per
classic
million
action.
years.
Wow.
Yeah, it varies, but yeah, it's so.
Okay.
So-
Let's stash this thing and get cracking.
Yeah.
You can get
Come on.
moving, we'll stash it on the flat.
Say that again, Dan?
So you can start going, I'll deal with the putting the rock in.
Okay. Great. Good deal.
Forward bio box A is open.
Roger.
bridge nav.
I'm just going to open the tool
So
tray a
yeah,
little
we
bit.
want to
Yep.
hold.
Go for it. Everything you need. The world is your oyster, Dan.
Cancel.
Yeah, we're going to hold here, Kate.
Rack back for me and just rack the camera
So I
back.
think this will be it. We'll
Yep.
put this away. We'll come up, get a water sample, and then we'll pause.
That's good. Left side, you said A?
A,
Correct.
I
A
don't
is
know which
open.
one's A.
Left. Yep.
alpha on the left, yeah.
Alpha, port, or starboard?
Port.
It's port,
Is that the right box
Other
there?
port.
other
no,
one.
Wrong.
Other port. Military port. Roger.
Are these still labeled alpha and
All right,
omega?
I was going to make a move, but we don't need to.
Oh, A and B now.
Can you just tilt down and make sure, or rack
Holding
back?
station.
Yeah, that's it.
All right,
Okay.
got that one.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to, how about we come up 5 meters and get a Niskin?
Okay.
Let's move to the south a little bit more first.
Sounds good.
You're under Argus. Just bring yourself out in the picture there, where you can see yourself.
It's a good call there, Andrea.
And you can rack the camera all the way back while you're doing that.
I can hit some rocks too.
Okay, 5 meters there.
There's some goo on the HD lens there.
You want to look at the
Yes.
coral first before we come up, or
Yeah.
Sure.
one more touch and zoom?
One more. I got some practice to do here.
Closer, closer. Yeah. So see how he's just under the lasers?
Yeah.
So if Steve does the laser zoom now, go ahead, Steve.
Laser zooming.
So
Still zooming.
he's going to stop where the lasers are still in the picture, but you can still fly. So that's good, Steve.
Looks like there might be a brittle star in there.
Oh, yeah.
Good eyes. There's something in there.
Beautifully done, Gabby.
Oh yeah, I got to do, I had a little scoot in there and it worked great.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit of pressure off on the verts. Lovely.
That's the hot ticket there, baby.
Yeah.
Can we turn the lasers off momentarily?
Roger. Lasers are off.
Try to get one last good view of that.
Are you, I'm just going to touch your button there.
I'm going to zoom a little bit. Oh,
There we go.
nice.
Nice.
If you can stabilize there, you'll be able to get a polyp zoom.
Yeah, there's definitely a brittle star in
Yeah.
there somewhere.
Yeah.
You can get a little closer in, Steve.
Coming in.
Beauty.
That's
That's
what
full
we
zoom.
want.
Full zoom.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to
Oh, yeah, I see that little orange guy in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
giving me shivers.
Okay, let's go wide.
Nice one, Gabby.
Can run,
Yeah, cool technique. I dig it.
Full screen coral shot.
Okay, we're coming up a little, 5 meters off the bottom.
Roger. Once you come up and spin around and look at Argus right in the eye.
Oh, man.
Give us a glory shot there.
I've already looked Herc straight in the eye underwater.
You hit Argus, you're too close.
Okay.
You'll want to rack that high definition
I think
camera all
I
the way
think
back.
I might be wrecked. No, I am not.
You can see that sheet flow there of the magma. See how it's cooled in that sheet flow?
Yeah.
Makes me hungry for pancakes.
I'll need to see a little bit more of the down and to the left action. This one.
Oh, you want the, oh, sorry. You're actually already going for it.
What Niskin number are we?
1, 2, and 3 are all open.
From the top down, 1, 2, and 3 are open.
1 is at the bottom.
So if I grab this blue one here, that should be right.
The way I'm looking at it, 1 is towards the aft.
What's that?
Well, that's the...
That'll be Niskin
oh, I
number
see.
3.
The aft is number 1, and as you go forward, it goes to 6.
All right. Okay, Steve.
3, 2, 1, fire.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
There you go. You got it. Woohoo. Beauty.
All right, it looks like in the science chat we're getting greedy for Niskins now and want another one. We're asking for another one now 20 or 30 meters off the bottom in this same location to do some comparison.
We'll get one more, about 30.
Okay.
Yep, 30 meters.
Are you calling the dive off bottom then?
Well, it will be, yes, because we're not going to come back down.
We can come up 30 meters in a heartbeat, but it's up to you.
Was the water sample complete?
Water sample's complete.
Thank you. Which one did it go into?
Okay, coming up.
1, 2, 3, the 4th one back. Okay. You're coming up.
Thank you.
I'm coming up.
So that was number 3, and then we're going to
You're
come up
coming
to
up whether
30.
you want to or not.
Yes, I sure am.
Coming up to 30, and then we'll get number 2, I guess.
And you don't want to get
Stretch it
ourselves
out.
in recovery arrangement until after this Niskin?
It's up to you. Let's just come up.
Okay,
We
coming
got
up.
2,000 meters to worry about recovery.
Okay,
Configuration.
sounds good.
You guys want this one at 20? Was that what I heard?
Let's do 30.
30. That's crazy.
I want to get away from that coral.
And Nav, do you mind if I turn the Doppler off?
I do not.
Okay. Dan, am I okay to turn Doppler off?
Absolutely.
Let's get that thing off.
But then your altimeter won't work.
Right, I used auto depth for the last one.
Yeah, but they want a 20 meter. So how will you know when you're at 20 meters?
You're right. Your altimeter and a lot of subtraction? I don't know.
Let's leave it on until we get our...
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sorry. 20 meters.
Yeah, there we go.
Turn your head 90 to port.
Say again?
Bring your head 90 to port.
Roger that. Oh yeah, you want the video. I'm on board with that.
More.
More.
Look at those lights. Nicely placed lights. Coming up all the time, are you? See, hit 0 Z bias. See how you come up.
0. Oh, okay. Are we taking it here? Or are we?
Oh, we got another 10 meters to come up.
Okay. I was just not. I thought it was at 20. I forgot that Emil had revised and said 30.
Show me that Niskin too if you want again.
Yep.
I'm thinking it's got to be yellow, right?
That would, yeah.
$30 meters. Okay, Steve. Niskin countdown.
3, 2, 1, fire.
Oh, that's not going to work too well. Maybe it did. Did it go?
I can't see.
I think it went.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it went.
Are you going to save the top one for later? The last one?
Yeah, we don't need that one.
But are you going to want it at the top?
No.
I'll just leave it open.
Yep. And so we're going to pause here before we go any further.
Yeah, so at this time I'm going to ask everyone in the control van here to go off of SPL so that we can go radio silent and conduct this private ceremony. This is a ceremonial protocol to acknowledge and honor the biological resources that are present and that we are interacting with and impacting. We'll be back on SPL shortly.
All right. We will bid farewell to Seamount A. Let's go.
Bye, Seamount A.
That's productive. Good dive.
It's dead. You're dead to me,
Oh, my
Doppler.
Doppler.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and see which way do I want for wraps.
So as we slow walk to the surface here, we had a few other questions coming in from our website, nautiluslive.org. Why did we see mostly just corals and sponges and not more fish and other deep sea creatures on this dive?
Okay.
Fair question.
Yep,
we did
you
see
can check the utility and see if I'm coming up at
rat
16.
tail, right?
Yes.
That was a very rather aggressive one.
Yeah, I was definitely checking out the cameras there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from that, no, not a lot of fish. I don't have an answer for that. Possibly that they heard Herc. Herc is not the quietest, stealthiest ROV. We were pretty deep, going from 2,700 up to 2,240 meters, so perhaps they're shallower. But that's certainly, in some areas you'll see Dumbo octopus at that depth, the Grippoteuthis. None of them here. And this being our first visit to this seamount, we don't have any comparison to make with what to expect on this one.
So we've completed the first dive of this expedition, and we are rising in the water column. How long do you think it will take us to reach the surface at the depth that we're at?
It should take us about an hour and a half.
All right.
Sorry, no, 2.5, right? We'll be up at 4, yeah, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
15 meters a minute. Rule of thumb.
So we're also getting some geology questions coming in. Viewers are curious about that black crust on that last rock. Kind of looked like a gobstopper. It was white on the inside and had a very thick black crust. What is that and what causes it?
That's what we call a manganese crust, and it is a precipitate that over long geologic time, so it takes a very long time for that to precipitate out over that rock. Inside, the lighter color material was actually the altered basalt. So that was a basaltic rock that over time recrystallized into that other more tan material. And it was covered by a manganese crust, what was that darker material. And it precipitates again over long geologic, on the order of millions of years.
And when you say it precipitated, is that a chemical process or a biological process?
Well, it could be both. That's one of the things that they study, but it's just a crystallization out of the water column. But it might need nucleation sites that could be biologically derived.
So the chemicals are in the water and the biology helps them to form on the rocks.
Sometimes that is the process, yeah, for a precipitate.
So we'll see what we can get done between now and Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, when it looks like some large swell is moving into the area. We've got a really nice weather for our transit to the northwest after we recover the vehicles. Get some good mapping data and a good second dive.
And do you have an estimate on when viewers might expect to see that second dive?
50 meters.
It's about a 15-hour transit north.
Thank you.
So we recover at 4. It's 1900 this evening up there. So we could be diving tonight. We'll have to see how our transit goes. But we've got good mapping data already at the north end. So we will not have to, don't expect to have to map for diving on this the second dive site.
Why is it that we have a set time limit on the bottom?
So we were calculating on a 12-hour dive. I think we saw most of what we needed to see on this seamount, given what the expected depth ranges for corals and sponges, and we got our geological samples that we needed. So 12-hour dive, there was no reason to extend the dive. And just fits into the overall picture of trying to hit all of these, as many seamounts as we can during this expedition in the 2 weeks that we have. We are a little ahead of schedule though, which is nice.
How long do we think those swells are going to take?
It looked like it was all of Wednesday, part of Thursday, better down south than up north. So we'll do what we can up north, maybe come south and either dive or at least map.
Yeah.
Preparation for some dives, but yeah, it's not a local feature, but a storm further north in the Pacific that looks like it'll pump swell down our direction. We had some fun transiting out to the seamounts here. Leaving Honolulu, we saw how we had that northerly swell, and we had to go west, so we had to be in beam seas, and we had one night of real good rolling around.
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Brace yourself with your knee to try to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the swell's down to 3 feet now. Hardly any wind.
So we're getting a question from nautiluslive.org viewer about what we are doing when we go radio silent and why we are doing that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, we are working closely with Hawaii on this expedition to recognize and incorporate cultural protocols into our dives. And so the Cultural Working Group under the Office of Hawaiian Affairs has come up with these verses and chants that prepare us, get us in the right frame of mind to respectfully sample this environment that from an area that is sacred to the Native Hawaiians. So we've got a permission verse that we do before our dives and a release chant, sort of acknowledging that we've come to the end of the immediate mission and it's sort of an expression of hope that we're gathering knowledge from what we've done out here and then preparing us to move on to the next task.
Fantastic. Yeah, we are exploring here for the next couple of weeks. Well, and the next cruise as well will be in Papahanaumokuakea Marine Sanctuary, west of Hawaii. In addition to being spectacular from a geological and biological standpoint, this area is very important to the indigenous Hawaiian people and plays a very important role in their belief system. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out, we have some links on our website, nautiluslive.org, that will link you out to Papahanaumokuakea Marine Sanctuary's website, as well as the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, which is another managing partner.
But I like this idea of connection to the marine organisms out here, ancient ancestors. So one of our science team members from the University of Hawaii, Kainalu Stewart, has produced a story map detailing an expedition, a scientific visit to the monument by a group of Native Hawaiian scientists and community members earlier this year in July, early August, using the ArcGIS story map format, and he is a finalist in an international competition sponsored by Esri and National Geographic. Just learned that while we were underway for this expedition. If folks want to take a look at that, they could look at the ArcGIS Story Map Challenge, and you'll see the stories produced by the 18 finalists. And Kainalu's was entitled Beyond Science into Po, referencing the realm of Po, which is the areas north and south of the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. And we're just below that Tropic of Cancer here. We're at 22 north. But we'll be crossing it as we transit north along this chain that we believe may end up being classified as the southern portion of the Wentworth Seamount chain.
We're just rising in the water column here, taking our time getting to the surface. As we are completing this dive, if you have questions, you can submit them on nautiluslive.org. We take questions during all of our dives. And I just see a question coming in about the resolution of the maps that we did before we sent the ROVs down. We spent some hours mapping this feature. It had never been mapped in high resolution. So what is the resolution of the mapping that we were able to complete on this feature?
It was better than 100 meters. I think there was a desire on the part of Chris to use maps that were 30 to 60 meters resolution. And that's what we're shooting for when we say mapped to modern standards. That's the type of resolution we're after. And the multi-beam sonar has been performing wonderfully. It does take some hands-on, and so hats off to the mapping team, keeping the EM302 happy. I got a great map of this seamount.
If you put about 10% forward,
the minimum depth of this was
28 degrees, or 28% lateral.
1,408 meters, the summit. Its base was a little bit deeper than 5,000.
Whatever that number is to not drop your pressure. Where's that number? Yeah, so as long as that's still at 28, then that's the max. So yeah.
So that minimum depth of 1408 was quite a correction to the estimated depth provided by the satellite altimetry.
So
which was more like 2,200 meters before we came out and mapped.
Now too fast. I need to slow down.
Is it common for the satellite to be off by that much?
Yeah, several hundred meters is about what we see. The satellite's detecting deflections of the sea surface that are with a resolution of several kilometers, 3 to 5 kilometers. A little bit better now that cryosat laser altimeter has been added to the mix.
They don't need to be exactly at par.
But there are some features that are too small to cause much of a deflection. We mapped some of these that were hardly noticeable in the last expedition, hardly noticeable in the satellite data.
After a while, you'll notice one lat will work harder than the other, then I'll toggle the auto heading.
There were knolls smaller than a seamount, less than 1,000 kilometers off the seafloor, but still a noticeable feature in the multi-beam.
The danger of it off is if we don't pay attention and wind up underneath Argus, like if we're not pulling on it. That's another nice thing to stream the boat, because you don't need auto heading on, you don't need any ahead. But I haven't looked, haven't even done a gauge check. I suppose I should. It is low. It's too low. Come on a stick lock for a second, see what it does. Yeah. So, you have to kill your verts too. Just to see if that voltage comes up. Just for a heartbeat. Yeah, it does come up. So it's because you're pegging it. gauge check. What time did we come off bottom, Kate? 1:30? This machine is in some funky time. What time is that? Is that UTC? Yeah. What the fuck? Really? The Argus GUI was set to local time and now it's in UTC, so.
Yeah, come on. So what is our ascent rate?
15 meters a minute.
It is, okay. That is a good thumb rule.
So we have a very astute viewer question here, noticing on the Google Earth view of where we are exploring that it looks like the seamount chain that we are looking at does not line up very well with the Hawaiian chain, which trends mostly east to west. And then here we are running north to south. What's up with that?
What's up with that? Andrea's jumping on this one.
That is an astute viewer. And yes, it does not match up to the Hawaiian Ridge, the age progressive seamount chain that goes to the Emperor Bend, because it is likely fed and derived from another mantle plume. And so that is one of the reasons why we're out here, to figure out what plume actually was the source, created the source material to make the underwater volcanoes or seamount chain that we're tracking and studying in this this expedition.
So the way it was explained during our awesome science meeting that really kind of brought it home for me is that if you think about looking at a beach with different sets of animal tracks, all the animals weren't there at the same time. So these seamount chains were not laid down at the same time, we think. They ended up in the same place, but not. They were separated in time by millions and millions of years.
That's correct, and that's why we like to date the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need those crystalline rocks to tell us their wonderful stories. So exactly. So we had the Hawaiian Ridge may have occupied the space that it did after some other volcanoes were already formed on that same crust.
And so the musician seamounts, which are oriented northwest, southeast, similar to the chain that we're exploring. This is located northeast of the Hawaiian Ridge, but we got a very nice Cretaceous age progression there, correct?
That's correct. So that one goes from about, I think, 96 to down near the 70s. So that's when that age progressive seamount chain was being formed. It also has associated ridges that lie to the east of that seamount chain that might have a different geodynamic origin. And so that seamount chain also was fed by a different plume, one that we don't see today.
Emma, am I okay to drop a weight here?
Let's see.